We were a family that was not well off, okay? And I remember when my little sister was going to be born, we didn't know anything about this. We came home and we asked our neighbor, "Where's my mother?" And she said, "Well, she's going to get a sister." I said, "Well, we are already 4. We won't have room for another baby." And that's when she went to the hospital. Now, we found there was no food in the house, so we went to the hospital and we yelled for my mother. And I said, "Mommy, there's no food in the house." So the windows opened. I guess they were just getting their supper. So a lot of people threw down their bread or their Kaiser rolls and said, "Hey, you kids are hungry, here, pick it up." And so that's what happened. Then she brought that little one home. Okay, like, they weren't really good times for us because my father was already ill with cancer. So he didn't work much, so we were really living almost from day to day, unfortunately. I went several times and they kicked me out because they told me I was too young. Eventually, when I was 17, 9 months and a day, I joined. But because I was what is called an enemy alien, I could only join certain parts of the army, called the Pioneer Corps. And the strange thing is, of all the people who came over with me on the Kindertransport, they were all declared enemy aliens. Now, what did that mean? I couldn't ride a bicycle. I couldn't have a radio. So I applied to ride a bicycle. And has a strange ending, this has. And one day they decided, because we are enemy aliens, we may be spies, they arrested many of them and sent them to the Isle of Man, sent them to Canada and to Australia. There's a famous man here, Rabbi Shield. He's the rabbi at Adas, Israel. He was interned and sent to Canada. His job was to capture 3 bridges behind the enemy lines. And the most famous one of these is this one here, Pegasus Bridge. Wow. You will see the gliders, how close they landed to the bridge. And each of our planes carried about 17 to 18 of the really best trained parachutists.
Was it British troops you were carrying?
All British. Okay. Yeah, all British. Okay, and we landed. We left Britain at 11 o'clock on June the 5th. This is now a museum. There's the bridge. Yeah. It's a museum. So we left Britain at 11 o'clock, and after we landed, in 20 minutes, the German garrisons were all dead. There were 3 bridges that we captured. And during the night, tens of thousands of parachutists joined us, and we were linked up with them.
I wonder if you could tell the boys a little bit what it was like to fly those gliders.
Well, it was in the moonlight, okay? What happens is a DC-3, DC-10 pulled you. Do you know anything about gliders?
Yes, I do.
You stand behind a glider, behind a plane. The plane takes off. A rope is attached to the plane. When you think you're over the target, you pull it. Pull the rope. And then it's up to you. There's only one way the glider can go, is down. Okay? The minute you land, the doors open and the troops run and go to their targets.
Was it a struggle for you to stay in the air?
No, not at all. It's very simple.
Okay.
Once you learn how to do it, you just fly. The weather was good. The moonlight was there. You know, of course, a little bit about D-Day. We expected about 20,000 casualties. We were lucky. Only 6,000 were killed the first day. And it was at one time touch and go. Now, we were in a way lucky that our weatherman was smarter than the German weatherman, because we were supposed to go on June the 5th. But the weatherman came and said to Eisenhower, it is not possible to go on June the 5th because there's going to be a terrible storm. So he postponed it. And then he came to him when it was lightning and raining on June the 5th. He said, we have an opening for June the 6th. I think we better go. Now let's go to the other side. The German weatherman said to Rommel, it is impossible for the Allies to come across because the storm is so bad. Now Rommel went to Paris to buy some silk stockings for his wife's birthday, who went to Germany. When he heard the invasion had taken place, he said, "Don't Kopf, I should have known." But he didn't, okay? That's what happened. Do you know what? We had no food, okay? We had one piece of bread and turnip soup and maybe some tea or Ersatz coffee. Everybody lost weight. Some of the older people who were captured at Dunkirk, they just fell over and died. There's one amusing incident in the camp. When you pass a German officer, you're supposed to salute in the camp. Now, this guy didn't salute. So what happened? They sent him to jail. And after 2 days, we got a message. This is a fantastic place. The food is better. We don't have to go on parade at night in the winter. It's lovely and warm in here. So nobody saluted the German officers. Before they realized what would happen, all their jails were full until they realized what we were doing. Anyhow, every day we got what is called sports results. Somebody had a secret radio and he told us exactly where the Allies were. So and on May the 1st, 1945, a British tank drove into the camp and we were liberated. Do you know what? There's a thing that is called Stalag Happy. Now what does that mean? The people who were prisoners of war for 4 years were almost sorry they were liberated. They got so used to a way of everybody telling them what to do and all that, that suddenly they have to make their own decisions. Now me, I was not there, but I was very happy it was all over. But the problem was the food. You could not eat ordinary food. Some people ate a lot of food and they died. One guy ate 6 eggs and he dropped dead because I weighed 79 pounds when I was liberated.
Oh yeah,
okay?
I heard about that because when the army came and they liberated you guys,
they gave us all the food to
exactly,
eat.
And
but
it was
until
too much,
somebody
right?
found out that you eat all this food, you're gonna die. You know, so
Yeah, exactly.
this one guy, he loved eggs. He ate 6 eggs and he died. 6 hard-boiled eggs. He fell down. It was dead.
Like they were giving you guys
Well, we
army.
got rice and stuff, you know, eventually, and milk, but we couldn't eat the ordinary food for a little while. Yeah.